Come along with me as I invoke an eerie Halloween spirit into my home, transforming my kitchen into a spellbinding witch's lair.
Hey there, I'm Jackie and welcome to my magical home. This is a place where I like to share all kinds of creative homemaking content to basically sprinkle a little bit of magic into the mundane, whether or not we're cleaning and organizing, making a delicious recipe, conjuring up a DIY, coming up with festive holiday ideas, or sharing epic movie nights or themed ideas. I hope that you will join my YouTube family and hit that subscribe button down below. We have all kinds of spectacular fun here. Now let's go ahead and get started with today's Halloween kitchen clean and decorate. I'm starting out by sprinkling some magic on the space above my pantry. My mission? To conjure up a witch's kitchen that feels like the real deal. Not just a Halloween party prop, but a hauntingly beautiful lair that would make any witch feel right at home. I feel like the black candlestick holders I just added are such a delightful and understated touch to the space, and even better, I found them at my local Dollar Tree. They were originally gold, but after a fresh coat of black paint, I feel like they fit the overall vibe perfectly. I just adore how these flowers capture the deep, rich hues of autumn while still embracing like a spooky vibe. All the flowers and greenery I bought for this bouquet are from Michael's and pretty much all of the greenery that you're going to see today. And I will provide the links to the available items in the description. My fluffy supervisor Dorian kept a close eye on my progress throughout this process. This area took a little longer than I'd hoped, but in the end, I was so happy with it. Let me know what you think. Two of the key pieces that I want to add to this space are my recent DIYs I shared with you, my crow's cage and my butterfly's cloche. Now, if you missed these videos, I will have them linked in the description below. I felt like the crow was a little hard to see though, so I decided to add a battery-operated puck light to the top of the cage. I love how the light casts an otherworldly glow on the crow, highlighting its dark and mysterious presence. However, the visibility of the light fixture took away from all of the haunting atmosphere I wanted to create. After trying out various ideas, I ultimately chose to drape a spooky cloth around the cage. This, in addition, not only concealed the fixture, but also instilled a touch of mystery and intrigue that I believed added the perfect finishing touch. It's time for me to show you my Halloween village and how I conjured everything up. So excited with how it turned out this year, and I cannot wait to hear, have you guys ever done a Halloween village? I know that Christmas villages are a big thing. I don't actually do that, but you know, you make it Halloween themed and yeah, I'm into it. So I would love to hear what you guys think. Let's head that way now. The houses I'm using here are primarily miniature Christmas village houses that I painted black. And I got these all from Dollar Tree. A couple of them were intended for Halloween itself, but you can also notice that on some of the houses, I transformed the topiaries that they had into pumpkins and painted the wreaths like with little accents and the windows to introduce a splash of color. So this stand I've had for many years, and I'm going to be positioning it in the corner. It was once a display at a metaphysical store I managed, and now it's going to be the foundation for my village with some houses overlooking the areas below. Additionally, I'm incorporating Tupperware and anything else I can use to elevate these houses, and I've covered them with things like moss and black cheesecloth to conceal what lies beneath. So I'm really enjoying the atmosphere that this is creating, but honestly, it's a little bit difficult to see. So I'm going to be bringing in some lighting and attempt to place the lights inside each of the tiny houses, aiming for a look that makes it seem like the houses are glowing from within. Much like the houses, my mini trees for my Halloween town also are Christmas Village items with a makeover. I think that really helps to make the space look a little bit more complete, but obviously the cool, crisp wintergreen color of the trees wouldn't do. So I decided to add a light layer of black paint and then followed with some mossy green color to add some depth and dimension to it. As you can see, my sweet Philippe decided to supervise my fun and frankly kept trying to steal my trees. It was really cute. So at this point I was starting to get a little tired and I wasn't ready to abandon my project just yet though, so I slipped on my pajamas and chose to tackle one final section before calling it a night. My witch cupboard, of course. I'm using a very pale gray acrylic paint for this project, and I'm just painting on some webs and a couple spiders onto the glass doors to add some extra spooky fun. Now, don't worry though, this is going to be super easy to get off at the end of the season with a razor blade. Have you guys ever painted windows or glass like this before? I really didn't like the webbing right here, so I just scratched off what I didn't like and tried again. One of the best parts about painting on glass like this is it is utterly forgiving. For instance, it can be hard to get the lines as thin as you like them, but with this method, I can just flip my paintbrush around and use the back of it to lightly chip away any paint that I don't like so that it has the perfect thin lines. So this is day 2 of my decorating adventure, and we are going to be starting with the chandelier up above. But I have to tell you before we get started, I'm so in love with the spiderweb vibe on the witch cupboard. I can't wait to come up with ideas for the holiday season. If you guys have any good ones, let me know down below. I'm starting out by draping black cheesecloth around the lights, and after I finish the greenery, I'll be returning to weave a touch more of this fabric around the heart of the chandelier to hopefully tie it all together. I'm keeping the greenery really simple. I'm first encircling the light with one of my favorite Halloween garlands from Michaels. The wiring and accents of it are black, but the leaves are green that's interwoven with streaks of black throughout it. And I'm also going to bring in some black and purple fern leaves as accents. And they really pop when you turn on the lights because the purple stands out. You're going to see a lot more of this eerie combination throughout the house as I unveil the rest of my decor. Now I'm heading back to the area where I set up my Halloween village in order to bring some more decor accents. These are all pieces I've had for years, but I really feel like they somehow completed the area and it draws your eye in that direction. Don't forget to let me know what you think in the comments below. It is time for us to head over to the coffee bar. And that is an area I really love to add decor to because it's something that greets you when you wake up in the morning. So it kind of adds a little bit of the essence to how your day starts. And what a magical thing when you go up and it's got all this beautiful ambiance and decor. So it is definitely something that I love to have decorated. And I'm curious, do you guys have a coffee bar? And if so, do you decorate it? The back of this tiered tray mainly has everyday items that we use, such as cocoa, chai, marshmallows, teas, but I really enjoy decorating the front of it for the seasons and the holidays, but that's why you're not going to see me doing a lot with the back. Okay, let's talk sprinkles. These are the ones I'm showcasing in the coffee bar this year. We don't use them all the time, but they are a wonderful pick-me-up or a way to make someone feel extra special when you add a dash to their coffee or cocoa. It's time to put up my witch's kitchen sign. I normally put this up above my stove, but I decided to put it here this year because the wild hops that my husband found below that are hanging in the window space are just such an eye catcher that I thought it would be fun to do something to elevate this space as well. It's time to add my Halloween cups and mugs. So I have a fondness for tea and tea cups paired with saucers, and the first two that I'll be showcasing feature matching bases, and every time I use them, I feel truly special. There's actually two of the black one with the spider, and I just cannot wait every year to bring them out. I'll also be featuring the Village Witch cup that my friend Rachel gave to me, as well as a Dia de los Muertos cup that I have as well. I felt like this area with the kitchen witch sign and the hops needed something a little extra to make it pop, so I decided to bring in a garland of fall-colored oak leaves to light right above it. Another spot I really wanted to infuse with some spooky cheer was the top of my fridge. I typically overlook this area, but I'm really pleased that I chose to decorate it, and I think it adds the perfect touch to the room and helps to maintain the overall vibe throughout it. These are two Halloween houses that I've had for years, and I can't believe I haven't thought of putting them up here before. I'm also going to be adding some fall greenery around them to make them stand out. So, short girl problems, I was struggling to reach the back wall behind the fridge. So my solution was to just perch on the fridge, of course. All right, I gotta say it, I freaking adore this little house area, but I don't like that you can see the rack below it. So I decided to take this stunning copper pumpkin that I have and fill it with a faux fern to add the final touch. Let me know what you think. At this point, it was again getting pretty late, and I thought I would try to prep one more area before I crashed for the evening, but it didn't really work out as I hoped, but you know, c'est la vie. As I got this whole area cleared, I realized I lost my command strips to put up a sign I was planning to use, so I ended up just taking everything down from my shelf and creating a little mess to deal with the next day, frankly. Oh well. We're gonna take a quick break from decorating for a second because I have two quick and easy DIYs to share with you. First up, we're going to make some unique kitchen pot holders and a dish towel. The images I'm using for these are artwork I found on Etsy by Darkened Brush and Lily's Revenge. I was so impressed with the quality of both of their artwork, and I will be sure to have them both linked in the description. Now, after I paid for the rights to print this art, I sent it over to Tiffany at Smalltown Apparel, and they did a DTF printing of them for me. Now, then it is as easy as ironing them on with a heat press. I only have a mini heat press from HTV Rond, but it did the job great. When transferring a DTF print, make sure to position it on the fabric exactly where you want it. Once your heat press reaches the right temperature, I usually set mine around 325, press each section of your image firmly for 30 seconds. After completing this step, carefully pull away the outer film from the DTF image. Then iron the image again using a piece of parchment paper to ensure it bonds securely to the fabric. And just like that, you're finished. If you'd like more information or if you'd wish to order some DTF prints yourself, I will include a link to Smalltown Apparel in the description. They do fantastic work. The towel was my favorite. I loved the way this awesome ghost picture from Lily's Revenge turned out with that dark olive green towel color. It made it pop in all of the best ways. Which one's your favorite? I can't wait to hear you guys' opinion on the towel and the pot holders. I love that I was able to bring in art and just kind of incorporate it in a new and different way. But don't go anywhere because I've got more to share with you. Up next, I'm going to show you a fun spin on how you can add a little Halloween flair to your sink area, as well as how to make your own Dawn dish soap, that power wash stuff that is just amazing. So easy to make and so cost effective to just make it yourself at home. And I'm also going to be showing you how to make your own foaming hand soap. So I don't know about you guys, but I love Bath & Body Works. But this is going to be a trick to show you how to get 2 to 3 times the amount out of your soap that you get from Bath & Body Works, saving you tons of money and in a way that you can bring in some holiday flair. So let's go ahead and get that started. So we're going to start out by making some labels, and I designed them on Canva. And once I was done with that, I printed them out on sticker paper and went over them with a clear vinyl to make them less susceptible to water. I suggest using a printable vinyl so that you have less water damage, and that's what I'll be doing in the future. After that, all I needed to do was cut them out, and they're ready to stick on the bottles. First thing that we are going to be making is our very own Dawn Power Wash, and it's so easy and cost effective. I will put the ratios of each ingredient on the screen. It really depends on how much cleaner you want to make. I do try to add just a touch more alcohol than is called for though, because I feel like it's a little less soapy. Once you have your basic power wash mixed together, you can add a couple drops of your favorite essential oils to give a great smell. I added patchouli, sandalwood, and amber oil for a cozy, warm scent. I thought it would be nice to change everything into glass jars for a more uniform look, so I'm changing my dish soap over into an old soap container that I had laying around. Now it's time to make some foaming hand soap, and this is such an awesome, cost-effective way to use your favorite scents and hand soaps while not breaking the bank. Step 1, you need a mason jar and a foaming hand soap lid. They're available on Amazon, and I do have one linked for you down below. Then you grab your favorite gel hand soap, and it's time to get started. It's so easy. You pour your soap into the first third of your mason jar and then fill the remaining 2/3 up with water and shake it up. That's all you need to do. And if you're a Bath & Body Works fan like I am, you can get 3 times the amount out of your soap. They do sell foaming hand soap refills, but they are not as cost effective and they're already filled with water, so you're really just wasting more packaging. Feel like adding all the different soaps into those glass bottles and adding the labels really gave such a cohesive, really nice look to the sink area. And I'm really curious though, have you guys ever made your own foaming hand soap or Dawn power wash? Let me know how it's turned out for you down below. All right, it is a new day and I am back working on the kitchen decor, and I'm kicking things off with the kitchen window so that I can pick up where I left off. I'm sure you can tell, but this window needs a full cleaning. Even from the outside of the house, it needs a good wipe down, but today is not that day. I'm going to start out by adding a layer of black cheesecloth behind the plant area to bring in some of that eerie beauty and set the mood. I also have a Sanderson Sister apothecary sign to place above it. Other than a couple Halloween items, it's largely my plants and colored glass bottle collection that will go up here. I love the way that the sun reflects through those glasses during the day. It is so beautiful. I'm also adding one of my Halloween garlands below the shelf. My goal with these garlands is to basically make it look like it's an old witch's cottage in the middle of the woods that's been taken over by the nature that surrounds it. This is one of my last cupboard tops to decorate, and honestly, it's mainly random items I had left over, but I was pleasantly surprised by how it turned out. After adding the colored glass bottles to the bottom of the window, I was inspired to add a little bit more spooky fun, so I'm going to be bringing in a couple other items I had on hand to add to that witchy cottage apothecary look. I'm bringing in some of those same puck lights that I used in the crow's cage, and I'm putting them under all of my kitchen cupboards. They're great because not only do they add a little light to the room, they change colors too, so that makes them the perfect feature for any holiday fun. I actually ended up choosing to have them between green and purple after I finished the kitchen, and I love them. The top of my bread box has become a little bit of a catch-all, so in an attempt to remedy that, I'm going to add a little bit of decor up there to see if that helps. I'm also updating the cookbooks that I keep on my counter to all witchy-inspired books for the season. OMG, check out my new toy. I am in love with this coffin butter dish. I saw Tiffany Beeston had this and I just instantly fell in love with it. But then when I followed the Amazon link to it, I found out it was $20 and that kind of changed my mind. But luckily the universe must have heard my wish because the next day I stumbled on it at my local Ross for a little over $5. So obviously I had to get it. I'm also adding a small skull and some greenery to this area too. As I was decorating the top, I realized I wanted more, and frankly, seeing all of the bread packaging inside of my bread box kind of took away from the decor, so I headed back to Etsy to purchase the rights to this beautiful autumn castle scene from digitally drawn prints so that I could add it inside the window of my bread box. At this stage, I noticed that I only had a few spots left to decorate, but I was starting to run out of items dedicated to the kitchen. So I got inventive and I pulled out this vine and twig mushroom, I don't know how I'm supposed to call it, and I decided to add some floral accents to it as well as place it with a skull on top of my witch cupboard. This entire mini DIY is made all from scraps. I just needed something to go in a space by the stove, and this was what I came up with. I also decided to add a couple mischievous skeletons around the stove area, as if maybe they had gotten loose from their cage and were causing trouble. Now it's time for one of my favorite areas to decorate, the space in between my living room and kitchen. For such a random space, I have always felt it can be such an impactful thing to decorate because it is small, but it just really is something when you walk into the room, you see it right away. So I'm going to be honest, I really thought that the next time I came in front of the camera, it was to finish up this video and share it with you guys. And then I woke up and looked at the garland that we put up last night, and while I really loved the overall effect of having it there, I knew that it could be better. So we are going to head over there and we're going to bring in a couple different ferns as well as some Spanish moss and these delicate hanging candles that I feel like just bring the whole piece together. So let's go ahead and head that way. Honestly, I can't wait to hear what you guys think. Many years ago, I got these little hanging succulent holders, candle holder things, and I felt that they would be the perfect touch for this area. I added a little bit of brown moss on the bottom of each of them so that you wouldn't see the bottom of the faux candles that I'm going to be adding. And you guys, they look like legit candles from far away, and even better, they're remote activated, so I don't have to climb up here to turn these off and on every time. I also added some black and purple fern leaves, some summer green fern leaves to add a little bit of contrast, and some Spanish moss to give it a natural look. I had intended to show you my tablescape as well, but first off, this video is so long that I didn't feel like I could fit it in there, but also
My kitty said no. As you could see, they are quite obsessed when the tablecloths go on the table, and I was a little bit afraid with how rambunctious they were being that they might accidentally pull off all of my toys and ruin my beautiful new Halloween plates and glasses. So I will have to show those to you at a later time. After seeing how much the Spanish moss just added such a great touch to the other areas, I decided to add a little bit to my chandelier as well, and I think it gives the perfect overgrown haunted feel. Let me know what you think.
So this is going to be the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope that you really liked all of the Halloween inspiration. I hope that you have an absolutely spectacular day, my friends. I'll see you next time.